What's going on, guys? UFC Louisville has just wrapped up, and I'm going to go over the full card, going over my predictions, and just the card as a whole. So let's start with the first one: Puja Tamor versus Riani dos Santos. And geez, guys, geez, what did I tell you? I said if Riani dos Santos doesn't come in with the correct game plan, this could be a lot closer than what people expect. Because Puja Tamor was a good striker, and she is a good striker. And did she really win that fight? Probably not. But did Riani dos Santos deserve to win that fight? Probably not. She played stupid and she reaped the rewards of a bad game plan. Didn't take her down, and you know, when you leave it up to these judges these days, even though it was a bad decision, it's her own fault. Then we'll go to Taylor Lapilus versus Cody Stamann, and yeah, what did I tell you? Cody Stamann doesn't mix up the arts well enough, and Lapilus was able to outbox him on the feet during his during Stamann's blitzes and his exchanges. It was a clear win for Lapilus, 30-27, and yep, Cody Stamann hasn't learned his lesson of trying to mix up the arts. DeeCee Gomez versus Eduardo Mora. Guys, I'm sorry, I picked Eduardo Mora there, and she looked a full weight class above DeeCee Gomes, but she's one-dimensional. She could only shoot takedowns. She had no striking, and if she couldn't take it down DeeCee Gomes, she got outboxed on the feet, and that's what happened. DeeCee Gomes didn't look good either. I'll be quite frank with you, she didn't look well on the feet either. She should have finished a gassed out Eduardo Mora. Mora was gassed after the first round. And I can't believe that fight went to the decision. I'm sorry about that bet. But yeah, in a realistic world, that fight should have ended within the distance. But DeeCee Gomes was too scared to get taken down again, too scared to get clinched up by Eduardo. And it was a boring fight that Eduardo threw in the bin. Next up, Daniel Marcos versus John Castaneda. I picked Castaneda, another bad pick. But guys, Marcos is the real deal in terms of striking. He did what, you know, even though it was a bad stance for him to throw the inside leg kick, he still did. And he pieced up John Castaneda in the boxing. Castaneda did well in the third round, actually hurt Marcos, but too little too late. Castaneda didn't try to wrestle just enough, and Marcos came away with a clean decision that he rightfully deserved. You know, I think we've seen Castaneda's ceiling now, and Marcos keeps on climbing up, so good for him. Still undefeated. Montana De La Rosa versus Andrea Lee. Guys, sometimes it was a low confidence pick for a reason. Andrea Lee had all the tools to win that fight. Montana definitely has improved in her stand-up, in her boxing. She looked way faster in her boxing, and you could see that Andrea Lee was heading towards 35, 36 years old, because she looked slower than usual. Montana didn't really implement her wrestling that much. You know, she took her down a few times, and that's what won her the round in the third round. But besides that, it was Montana. She lost the first round by getting dropped, but then the second and third, she just threw more together, and Andrea Lee was just lackadaisical, didn't really care about her career, and now I think that's her 5th loss in a row. Probably going to get cut from the UFC, and it's bad luck because she could have easily won that fight. But yeah, the fighter that wanted her more was a younger fighter, which you always got to. I said that in my breakdown. Career trajectory is something that you must watch out for, and age plays a big factor in that. But another one down that we got wrong. Brad Katona versus Jesse Butler. High confidence I was in Brad Katona. I think most people were. Jesse Butler is just not a good UFC fighter, or doesn't belong in the UFC. He's not a good MMA fighter. Sorry, my bad. Just laid on his back. Brad Katona, he should be ashamed of that performance, to be honest. You should be finishing someone like Jesse Butler if you're trying to grow in the ranks in the UFC, and he didn't. So that probably shows Brad Katona's level. I tweeted that out. I don't think that did anything for Katona. In fact, I think that lowered his stock. He just laid in his guard and showed no ability to pass the guard. And yeah, bad luck for Jesse Butler, probably out of the UFC. And Katona, I don't know if his stock rises or not, but it is what it is these days. Carlos Prates versus Charles Radke. guys, I'm pretty proud of this one. I even said my breakdown in the knees would be what plays a huge part, and I couldn't see Radke standing with Prates for 15 minutes. So what happened? Radke tried to stand with Prates for 15 minutes, tried to take down, couldn't get it. I said that as well. And Prates delivered a really nice knee to the liver of Radke, and down he went. Really clean performance. And I'm so happy that he said he's going to come down to Australia, or he wants to find UFC 305, because I would love to watch him live. He looks like a scary prospect, to be honest. If he can keep it standing like Alex Pereira, man, there's not going to be many people that can beat him in a stand-up war. But yeah, good for Prates. Gets the KO, clean victory. Gets the bonus as well. On to the next. Ludovic Klein versus Thiago Moises. What happened to Thiago Moises, man? What happened? What happened to the man that could take down the champion, Islam Makhachev? He couldn't take down Ludovic Klein. And props to Ludovic Klein. He looks like he's on all the sauce. But he also looks like he's improved his skills. His hips and his flexibility to sprawl out of these takedowns was phenomenal. And we know his striking's good. He was whipping up that head kick. And you know, there was one where Thiago Moises, he blocked it with his hand, but he also looked like it went through, and he ate it clean. But he also did get dropped, I think, 2 times. And man, I don't know how Ludovic Klein didn't get that finish in the third. He looked at the referee for too long instead of trying to punch through the guard. He was like looking at the referee, hammer fisting Thiago Moises' guard. So yeah, good victory for Klein. That puts him right up there. And what does it do to Moises? He drops it right down out of the rankings. Yeah, Moises, he has all the tools. He has some really nice low kicks as well, he showed. But yeah, Ludovic Klein gets the victory. Another bad prediction by me. We went 7-7 on predictions for this card, guys, but I said it outright, and I'm you know, it is unacceptable that I got an even prediction scorecard, but I'm gonna give myself a bit of leeway. I did say this was the hardest card to predict the whole year, and it was a lot of underdogs, a lot of weird fights like this one. Punahele Soriano versus Miguel Baeza. Who thought that Soriano would have 15 minutes of wrestling cardio? Not 15 minutes of cardio, 15 minutes of wrestling cardio. Throwing over like 200 strikes as well, and Miguel Baeza having the worst cardio of the two. That was insane to me, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And the fight didn't get stopped as well. Like, guys, sometimes you just can't predict these things, alright? I don't care what people that were betting on Soriano were betting on the fact that he was going to knock out Baeza. Okay, they were not betting on the fact that he was going to wrestle Baeza for 15 minutes. I can guarantee you that. I'll put all my money on that. And he did. He butchered Baeza. Baeza looked like he didn't belong in there, and I couldn't believe that he just kept on falling on these. The takedowns weren't even that strong. Soriano was also tired, but Baeza just like took the beating in the first round and just gave up. It was sad to see, and that's Baeza's career probably flushed down the toilet, and Soriano saved his career. So good for Soriano. I like him. He's looks like a nice guy. So yeah. Another wrong prediction, but it is what it is, I guess. Zachary Reese versus Julian Marquez. Hey, I'm proud of this one. Picked Reese as underdog, but I didn't pick it on any basis other than the fact that Marquez likes a brawl and Zachary Reese hits hard, and Marquez is probably at the tail end of his career. He's got his own podcast, which is good for him. And Zachary Reese came in there, hit him with a really nice, it was like a nice uppercut. It was like a shovel uppercut. It was weird. But dropped him straight away. Pounced 20 seconds. That's pretty fast. In front of his home fans, and got the nice KO victory. Brings the hype all the way back. He's probably going to have a lot of inflated lines that we might be able to capitalize in the future, because I don't think he's the full package, but he definitely did show some nice technique in that uppercut. Bruno Ferreira versus Dustin Stolfitz. What can I say, guys? Bruno Ferreira, lucky, because if he got out of that first round, he would have been finished by Dustin. I can almost assure you that was he gave it all. He was gassed, even in the interview, like 2 minutes after he got the KO, gassed. And he showed off some really nice striking. Dustin did as well. Dustin had his own in there, but man, those spinning attacks and that spinning elbow to KO him at the very end there, that was insane. That was tough to watch. Like, that looked like it hurt. But yeah, Dustin, He even said on Twitter he's probably going to stay out for a while. He got a few nerve damage in his face. But Bruno's going to be a good man to fade in the future. I do think he's good, but I don't think he has the gas tank to survive 3 rounds. And you could see it. He was tired, visibly tired. But he gets the win, gets the prediction right for me. And yeah, good win for Ferreira. Raul Rosas Jr. versus Ricky Tercios. Yeah, I had a big bet on this going to the 3rd round, and when I saw Rosas cranking on that jaw in the 2nd, I was like, whoa, please don't, and he gets it. And you know what's funny? Tercios had it in the 1st round, it was giving me a heart attack as well, but he just couldn't get under Raul's chin. And Tercios did do well in the 1st. He won the 1st round on 2 of the 3 judges' scorecards, and rightfully so. He controlled the back of Rosas and had many opportunities to finish the fight, but he couldn't capitalize. And Rosas, you know, showed that he is legit. You know, I didn't think he would be able to submit Tercios, and he did. So good for him, and good win for a 19-year-old as well. Tercios, yeah, he loses a bit of stock in there. I don't know who he can really fight now because yeah, it's he's 30 years old, losing against a 19-year-old. But yeah, good win for Rosas. Showed some really nice grappling, showed some nice wrestling as well, and it's a good win for him to put in his record. He's coming away with a few now after that defeat to Rodriguez. So, second last one, Dominic Reyes versus Justin Jacoby. I picked Justin Jacoby saying that he would be more durable, but I will pop up a bet on the page right now. I got 2 nice bets for the card, and one of them involved, both of them involved this fight actually. One of them involved Dominic Reyes by KO. It was like $5 or something. Proud of that one because, guys, all the value was on Reyes, but I did pick Jacoby. It was a volatile fight. It was going to be a stand-up battle. Neither were going to wrestle, and it was just going to be who drops who first. I can't believe people thought this was going to go the decision. That was a weird thought process, in my personal opinion. Reyes got the counterpunch. Dustin Jacoby was dominating, and if you guys noticed, Reyes was getting his leg chewed up bad by Jacoby. I thought it was going to be a leg TKO in the 2nd round, but Reyes gets it was like a counter straight left, and just drops Jacoby and then folds him against the fence. Really nice victory for Reyes. Puts him back up there. Happy for him because, you know, Jacoby's old. He's had his time. Reyes, you know, he's still young, still make a push, and yeah, he won me some money, and yeah, good for Reyes. Got a nice KO. Now, let's talk about it. Was Jared Cannonier robbed? Yes, it was a horrible call, and it's probably one. I've been watching UFC and MMA in general for a long time, longer than most people have, and I've never seen anything like this. It's one of the worst robberies I've seen. Cannonier didn't even get dropped to his knees. He was shelled up, which you're supposed to defend yourself. The referee always says defend yourself. And he threw a counter punch in that exchange. It was not like he was just getting beaten up. You also got to take in perspective, it's a main event, a 5-round main event. It was a close fight as well. It's not like it's been dominated the whole fight. It was 2-2 going into the 5th. I mean, Cannonier's career has been screwed, and he's 40 years old. He's probably not going to get another shot like this unless he gets a quick KO in his next fight. And yeah, I was happy. You know, I had a bet on Imavov to get the finish, as you saw before in the Reyes fight, parlayed up. But I felt sorry for the guy. And yeah, and it takes away from Imavov's victory as well. He was doing really well, and he was probably going to win the fight. I think the fight trajectory was on Imavov's side, but still, you got to give Cannonier the opportunity to win that 5th round. It was tied up. But yeah, it is what it is. You know, I guess Cannonier shouldn't have gotten hit by that shot, but you know, unfortunate, and I feel like it robbed the fans in Louisville a good spectacle for the 5th round. It would have been a really intense fight, but it is what it is. Now we're back to the Apex next week. UFC Vegas 93. Tatsuro Taira versus Alex Perez. Should be a fun one. You know, UFC every weekend is something that I'm not going to complain about too much. Sorry if you can hear the dog crying in the background, but I think they need to get let out. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. until I'll drop a video probably Wednesday on the breakdowns. And until then, I guess enjoy your time, study some tape, and get some bets down. I'll catch you later. Ciao.